Hey guys, Andy Thurai here. I recently attended the AI Day by Qualcomm in San Diego. So these are my top 5 takeaways from the big AI company that you never knew was going to do this much AI. Takeaway number 1. Qualcomm is betting that smaller models are an efficient architecture will rule. This is actually slightly different than what the other companies are betting, especially whether the platform companies or the massive models like the LLM creators, such as your Anthropics of the world, or even Amazon Titan models of the world and other LLM creators, Jurassic and others. They're betting on the fact that they will build the massive 1 trillion parameters and then that will rule the world. But Qualcomm, on the other hand, is sizing it smaller for kind of doing a local inference and creating a smaller and optimized models will be more on device, privately, locally used. Obviously, the techniques they are using for minimizing the models or making the smaller models more efficient. Everybody knows quantization, or most of the people know quantization, how to do that. There are other distillation is another one that became quite popular recently about a student model mimicking the teacher model, where the teacher model will teach the things to do in a specific area of expertise to the student model, and then speculative decoding, so on and so forth. So essentially what they're trying to do is trying to create the models, run them on device, less response time or less computational power. So this kind of gives a balance between the performance and efficiency, and accuracy is close enough. For that matter, actually, they have demonstrated the fact that they trained the Llama 3 into a smaller model, which is extremely powerful, and it is almost matching the efficiency of the GPT 3.5 Turbo. $175 billion model, 175 billion model, with the Llama 3 8 billion model with more efficiency. So, the 8 billion versus 175 billion parameters using a smaller model, it's much more efficient, less power consumption, less processing need, response time is higher, and accuracy is somewhat similar. And also, you can see the model quality index here, that it's somewhat similar as well. The speculation can be done by a smaller, more efficient model called draft model, making the inference 2 to 3 times faster. So that's their first takeaway. And the second takeaway from Qualcomm is edge is faster and scalable. So obviously, when the platform companies and the hyperscalers are trying to move both the model training and the inference to the cloud, companies like Qualcomm is trying to move the inference to more towards the device and do more of localization on the device so it could process faster. They are claiming that the on-device AI is the future, especially when it comes to inferencing, keeping it all in the device. The AI models, the AI data, the inferencing, the decisions, everything local. Therefore, they're claiming that it is very privacy oriented. You don't have to worry about sending it to the cloud. You don't have to worry about the response times. They also made a statement saying that we are on a mission to bring the AI processing away from the cloud and back towards the edge, which in itself is telling, because that is their goal of moving the models away from the cloud. The takeaway number 3 is on-device is private and faster and more efficient models. To that end, they have demonstrated smaller, personalized, and contextualized models, secure models, is a lot more accurate and will win eventually. And they demonstrated that by running a smaller models, which are as efficient on the local devices, whether it's phones or cars or glasses and whatnot, to run on a smaller level and much better. The evolution of obviously the LLMs are cloud-based and massive and showcase the art of the possible until now. But training LLMs and inferencing LLMs on cloud is not cheap. The data and the model creation and the model hosting and model inferencing is very expensive, and the round trip to cloud is also expensive. So Qualcomm is trying to do the localization of models on device for all of the models that they are using, and then trying to deploy them in as many devices. Especially the AI PCs are becoming very popular now. They are able to hold water to some of the behemoths in that, the bigger players of your AMDs and Intels of the world, which are the two larger players for particularly for AI PCs. The Qualcomm Snapdragon is matching the speed and power of it for doing AI processing. So they also have variations of CPU for general purpose computing, GPU for more of a training purposes and heavy workloads of LLMs, and then you have NPU, which is neural processing processors, which are particularly for neural networks. So they are suggesting by having an architecture that will send the needed model to the right place and doing it more efficiently will win eventually. And the fourth takeaway from the conference is Qualcomm is more than chips. They're also building the AI hub. The differentiation of the AI hub compared to the AI hub that's introduced by a lot of other players in the market is the fact that it allows the developers to easily quantize, optimize, and more importantly, validate the models on on-device locations, which means a developer can come to the AI hub, pick a model, or bring your own model for that matter, and then put it in a target platform. When you put that in a target platform and pick a runtime that you want to use, the AI hub will deploy the entire image, not just the model, but the entire image of the optimized image for that particular model. It'll drop into that particular platform, or it'll drop into the particular device, and then so you can test and validate. And if it doesn't work, you can always go back and change things, optimize things, validate things and whatnot, revalidate and whatnot. And then once you feel comfortable, you can deploy. So that's slightly different than a lot of the other vendors who are just providing models or a model garden and then provide some sort of a runtime environment, but you're on your own when it comes to doing actual testing and whatnot. They also demonstrated the fact that they are the equivalent of the model garden. They call it as a model zoo, which has about 100+ models. So basically, pick a model, pick a device, and the hub will download the right package you need. So this is essentially, they're trying to do the competition to NVIDIA CUDA. NVIDIA has become quite popular because of the support. They made, using the CUDA framework, they made the GPUs run on as many devices, as many locations as possible, which is one of the reasons why NVIDIA took off. Qualcomm is trying to mimic that for the device space of things. And the other differentiator that I saw from the AI hub combination is Qualcomm's AI orchestrator. What the AI orchestrator allows you to do is to build the agent-based architecture. So you could build specific agents that either you custom build or use one of the existing workflows and use the existing agents that built by someone else, and you could call them based on the need, and you can do the execution either automated or in a workflow manner that you could continue doing that. So that's another differentiator that I saw from there. And the fifth differentiator I saw at the Qualcomm AI Day is the amount of AI research. I was a little surprised we also did a deep dive on this slide. During the day, I spoke with the chief of research, as well as with their VP of engineering, SVP of engineering for a bit. it's not just about doing a platform research or doing some applied research. They're also doing a lot of fundamental research, and you can see all the areas of research what they are working on. A lot of them are published in their blog site and whatnot. But the total amount of work they're doing on AI, even though the output and the visibility and the availability on the device and the things what they're doing is not that very visible. But if you look at that, the amount of work they're doing, whether it's from virtual agents or doing a platform research or even the fundamental research of NLP, generative AI, it's actually more than what I thought they're doing. I was a little surprised with the total amount of research that they're doing on their platform. So what are my final thoughts? The DC being a data center and cloud-based AI chip is completely dominated by NVIDIA. While there are distant players like Intel, AMD, AWS, and other hyperscalers building their own chips like Trainium and Inferentia and whatnot, even smaller startup companies like Samanova Systems et al. They all building the chips, but the on-device AI chips and optimization of models for the chip is actually still a market in which the bigger players are not thinking about. The Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite power processors, especially for inferencing, consumer-powered AI computers, whether it's a laptop or phones or tablets and other IoT devices, the smaller devices for the smaller models, they are dominating the space, and they are bringing in AI to those devices, which other companies are still not thinking about. Qualcomm wants to dominate the on-device against the weaker competition of Intel and AMD at this time. They have a legitimate shot at it, in my view. What do you think? Let me know your comments below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.